Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and did okay with the stock gear sets with the new bearings. Satisfactory, okay. I'm going to go ahead and install the Modify speed gear 16:1 ratio. The advantage with these, the plate is much thinner, so then you have more room to shim with all the Modify shims available. So you can make it basically any setup you want. It's much, much better. So let me go ahead and get started. Let me just drop a shim. Okay, I already hear that it's rubbing. That's fine. Let me put some there on the bottom. If you notice, it might seem kind of crazy, but you do have space to put a whole bunch of shims. But once you get the desired amount, you're good. Just gonna put like that. And you can put a little grease on there to hold it in place. So now it spins like a top. Look at that. Bam. Okay, I'm just kind of guessing. I'm going to play it by ear and adjust as needed. So I'm going to say I'm going to put 2 little tiny shims. And it's already somewhat too high. As you can see, it's okay, but it's going to be too high. I can tell already. Real quick way, you can put the top of the gearbox on, and how it's popping up like that, too loose. But the spinning motion, there's plenty of room to spin, which is okay. It's okay. So for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab some of the smaller shims, just 2 of them, and put on top of the sector gear. The reason why you don't want to put like the big giant shims is because they might get in the way of the type of plate. You can put giant shims on the top of the spur gear, that's fine. It's still popping up. Once I close it down, shouldn't as much, but better. And it's still spinning. Okay, with this one, I'm going to first look at it. What's cool is the bottom of the spur gear isn't touching the bearing like it was before. So I'm going to put just 1 on the bottom, just to raise it a smidge so it doesn't touch the reversal latch section. And check it. And a way you can check is poke at it. Poke it with the stick. I got plenty of room. So now what's really cool is with these stock gear sets, the thicker ones, you have very, very little room to modify them, which is good. It's kind of almost shimless. It's good and bad. Now with the modified gear sets, you have, you can put a whole package of gear or shims in there and have it just the way you want it, so you can have the bevel match whatever mode you're running. So basically the ultimate sandbox. So I'm going to add a mid-size, 1 large mid-size shim on the top of sector gear. So I have little, and then mid-size. And then for the bottom, I'm going to run a total of 2 of the little ones. And just a little grease. Hold it in place. And I think I'm going to put a mid-size one on the top. just so it doesn't jump around too much because it was pretty loose. Squeeze and push. Have some room. Need like a millimeter or two of play. Let me tighten it down and see. And if you guys are asking about shimming, there's hundreds of ways to shim. So, hear the wiggling? It's basically the gears moving around. I still have plenty of room. The wiggle is from the spur gear. Bevel gear is decent. Sector gear is okay. I'm going to add more across the board. I'm going to just use up these little ones. Okay. I'm going to add another medium one. Medium. So it's 2 little tiny ones, 2 medium ones for the sector gear. And for the spur gear, I haven't put anything yet. I'm going to put the thickest one on there, just see what it does. And then for the bevel, I want to put that's too thick. Just another medium one, it's decent. Put it on there and see. Sounds tight. The little click is basically the sector gear popping. And bevel. Almost done, almost done. Put one more on the bottom of the bevel. And then a little baby one on top of the spur. Better. Little wiggle, little wiggle. Sector's good. Yeah, it's good. The spur is just a little wiggle. Basically, I'm pressing my fingers on the backside. I'm pressing. It's good. I'm going to add a little grease and then put the motor in. Try to keep track of the shims. Don't worry, if you put too much grease, it'll just fly off. You just don't want like the bare metal and bare metal. It makes that kind of scratchy noise. But no worries. Just add a little. With incredible opportunities to build the future of music, we're looking for talented web developers to join us. We go. So to come and play with Spotify, visit Spotify. Let's put a little on here. and that's good. Manually turn it. You can already see how some of the grease gets like sloughed off, and it's fine. Now I'm just gonna put it in there. Now the only thing I have to say, like when you change out bevel gear and you have a different motor pinion, there is different angles. Like say if you look at the bevel gears, you will have different angle. So you do have different noise. So you might have to slide it in or out or shim up and down. So you have to take that into account when you're building your gun. And this usually takes several attempts to get it just right. So this may be like a 15-minute video, but I might go at it again just to make it better. Otherwise it'd be like, it could be like an hour-long process just to make it just perfect. Not to make it perfect, but it just sounds good when it's perfect, and that's what people want. So this is basically showing you the steps of what to look for, but a lot of the technique is just experience and like just your own ear, you know. And like signs of it not being good is if it's super grindy, like kind of how it was in the first video with the stock gears. Yeah, that's okay. Not good though. And then also if the wires heat up. If the wires heat up, yeah, you're doing something wrong. It's a lot of resistance. So let's see what this sounds like. Still no selector plate. Okay, basically you have to raise the bevel gear a bunch.